Hello there, guys. It's your boy Fluffy Peanuts. Okay, we're gonna be checking in the patch notes for 0.5. All right, we're gonna look into this. Okay, we're basically gonna skim over because there's a lot here, extremely a lot. This thing's freaking massive. So basically, what I'm going to be looking for is the nerfs. Okay, the nerfs, particularly to the builds that I play, which is going to be my Castle Crate and my minion stuff. All right, I already got an assumption. I'm pretty sure that the Castle Crit build is probably going to get nerfed to the ground. This will be the second time they nerfed it. I guarantee you that's what's going to be happening, but we're going to check it out together, all right? So make sure you hit that subscribe button, okay? Put your comments down below of this video and check it, and, you know, tell me what you think about the whole ordeal of the 0.5 and the good, the bad, the cons, you know what I'm saying? I will be putting the link of this patch note thread and the bottom of the description, as well as if you want to dig deeper into it. There's a lot here, so we're just going to skim over it. I am more, like I said, personally, I'm just personally wondering what are they nerfing, okay? Particularly. That's what I'm more concerned about. We already know that they're going to be new crafty stuff and all that. So let's dig into this, okay? We'll see what they got going on. So now, obviously, you can see here the 0.5 patch notes is right here, and there's a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and check it out right here. Outdoor League, we already know all this stuff because this is all the stuff they're talking about, is like crafting remnants and all that crap that they're talking about in their live stream, in their video that they posted for all the update stuff. The end game, okay, we already know there's going to be new maps, new bosses, you know, the whole shebang. So let's go ahead and read some of this. We already know they're going to have storylines now, and where the Atlas tree have been significantly expanded to over 300 nodes. After completing all the maps inside the fortress, you will gain enough passive points to fully allocate the full Atlas tree, which I think that's a positive. That is extremely a positive. Okay, basically be able to test out our builds pretty well. New precursor tower maps has been added to fortress. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, quest versions for crisis fragments have been added to Enigma chambers instead of fortress. All right, added 2 new citadel maps, 2 new bosses that drop keys to the pinnacle boss. So I wonder what they're going to do with citadels. Or are they just adding the keys and that's it? I don't think there's going to be more fragments, so that's going to be interesting. So I wonder if you got to get all 5. They're saying they're adding 2 more. Maybe we have to get all 5 keys to be able to do that. Okay. See here, Delirium. We know what they're doing with Delirium. We already know what they're doing with Breach and Ritual. Okay, this is the one I'm interested in. All right, to be completely honest with you, I am interested in the Fate of the Vow. Okay, the temple, because they did not mention that at all whatsoever when they were showcasing. Okay, so let's see what they got going on here. Alright, Fate of Vow has been added to the core. Okay, the series of 6 ancient beacons in Act 3, energize them to obtaining crystals, blah blah blah. Alright, okay, there is now Atlas Tree mechanic and okay, so they added the passage tree, you know, the portion for the Vow Temple, which we already knew that was going to happen. They do it for every league. Alright, the maps inside can now be found in Atlas in the northeast. Okay, there's also a new temple precursor, so they added a new precursor tablet for the Vow. Okay, it's pretty generic. Alright, okay, it is no longer possible to prevent a room from deleted from the temple rooms that must be deleted, but have other connections while being turned into a simple path room. This prevents the stake strategy. Okay, that's a fucking L. That is a big L. That is an L. So we no longer can snake it now. We cannot snake the Vow Temple anymore. Instead, the deleted rooms are going to be turned into pathways. What are we doing? Okay, this is a big L. I think this is a no. 100% a no. So what is the whole point of doing the Val Temple now? Besides just going straight to the boss now? Is that what you want us to do? To go straight to the in-game boss? Alright, that's it now. Nobody's going to be playing this temple anymore. Rooms can now be upgraded to tier 4. Okay, that doesn't matter at all. What would be the point of upgrading your temple to tier 4 rooms if they're just going to get deleted anyways? Regardless, you can't stop the deletion. Okay. Okay, restricted rooms are in SRC's temple that are accessible will always destabilize upon exiting the temple. So now the restricted rooms will automatically delete whether you enter the room or not. That's crazy. Now, okay, at Xerxes Temple, medallions now have their drop rate scaled with the number of paths in the temple, in addition to other rooms, previously only other rooms. Okay, it's still pointless if you're just going to just destroy it anyways. Medallions can now no longer be used inside of the active temple. So we got to go outside of the temple to activate them before we close it. That's what I'm getting off of that. Room-based medallions now display upgraded information. Who cares? Medallion now input description error messages if they cannot be placed. That was already a thing, I think. Actually, no, it wasn't. The default maximum number of energized crystals can now be stored has been increased to 60. And the maximum number of medallions have been increased to 6. That was already there. I don't know why they added that in there. Okay, the monster level of the temple now factors in the level of the errors where the crystal used to open it were obtained. The corruption chamber temple bonuses have been updated to add monster modifier chance instead of additional monsters. Portals created in a temple now create a corresponding portal to prevent Val ruins for ease access. Val beacons now show a gray out icon on the minimap when completed. There are now 2 types, 4 types. Okay, don't care. Special weapons and Val Arcanist infusers can be applied to wands. Okay, don't care, don't care. Fate of the Val currency items now have a maximum stack of size of 5,000 when stored in the wildcard slots of the currency stash tab. Okay. Possible outcomes from applying Val corruption or unite has been updated. So the staff 10%, which was 20 to 40, so they nerfed that in half. The body armor now does 100 maximum energy instead of 200, so they nerfed that in half. Okay. Life cost efficiency previously to 25 to 50, they nerfed that in half as well. Okay, now what about the vertex? No longer roll a +2 to +4 to level all skill gems, instead now being able to roll a +3 to 5 to curse skills. So they took all skills gems level for the vertex helmet that was +2 to 4 and replaced it with curse skills. So they nerfed it. They nerfed all the uniques that people were using in the previous league. Yes. Thank you, GGG. Thank you. Thank you. Now you're forcing us to use the new uniques that you come out with. Well, those people will probably already use it regardless if you nerf these items or not. Congrats. Congrats, man. You do this every league. Why? Why, man? That's freaking crazy to me. So, the Vertex helmet, guarantee you nerfed it to the ground so bad, nobody's going to use it because nobody hardly ever uses curses, man. Unless they're doing the play chaos. Alright, abysses are now large abyss cracks on the atlas. We already knew that. Always allocate a map owner. Abysses elements no longer drop in the areas below level 65 modifiers on the chest found and apply to chest found. Okay, just the damage. Okay, alright. Expedition, nobody cares about that. This is the one I love the most, and that's this right here. Added support for searches for in-game Atlas map. Okay. Waystones now be identified. To put in the map device, that was already a thing, I thought. Or is a chance on tablets now? That's cool. An increased amount of lead content. Spawn. Tablets can no longer be used on maps that cannot have extra content. That's a unique. Wait a minute. Tablets can no longer be used on maps that cannot have extra content. Alright. Such as unique maps. I thought that was already a thing. I thought you can't use tablets on that already. Alright. Okay, have the bonus quality of item drop and experience gain provided by increased monster effectiveness. Such as from that Xerxes temple. So is this affecting everything? So basically what you're telling me, it's going to take us even longer to level up than what it already is. That is crazy to me. That is crazy. Chat, what do y'all think about that? Half the bonuses to quantity of item drop and experience gain provided by increased monster effectiveness, such as from a Xerxes temple. Dude, so how are we going to get more effectiveness? How are we going to get the items to drop more? Alright, what's the next? Okay, Omen of chaotic rarity, chaotic quantity, chaotic monsters have been inverted. Instead of guaranteeing the new modifiers on their type, they instead prevent the modifiers from being of their type. That don't make sense. Okay, so you inverted it. So if you put that on there, you cannot get that. That is dumb. If that's the case, that is dumb. Chat, help me understand that down in the comments. Okay, because I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Added a new Omen of chaotic effectiveness. While the item is active in your inventory, your next Chaos Orb will replace all modifiers on Waystones with modifiers that do not grant monster effectiveness. Okay, this is the item that activated in your inventory. Your next Chaos Orb will replace all modifiers on a Waystone with modifiers that do not grant monster effectiveness. What is the point of Omen of chaotic if it's reversed? What is the point of that? Why don't you just leave it alone and just keep it the same? That is crazy. And I know this right here. I cheated a little bit. I did look at this a little bit. This right here, for the campaign replayability, they did kind of like shorten it, I guess, and routed it differently to try to get you through the campaign faster. I think it's okay the way it was, but alright, gets me through the campaign faster. That's cool. Alright, player changes. This is what we want to look at. Bleed damage on players is no longer increased while the player is moving. This damage does not affect bleed players applying to monsters. Okay, your maximum runic ward, don't care. The defense's keyword, okay, you changed it. Only a single leech instance per resource, life, mana, or energy shield can apply at a time. When multiple leech instances are active, only the one with the highest recovery rate will recover you until it expires, after which the next highest recovery rate instance will apply. So you're telling me that we cannot recover life and energy shield at the same time? Okay, there goes Blood Mage. What's the point of having an Ascendancy Blood Mage then? Wait a minute, what is this? There is now a limit on maximum amount of damage a hit can be considered to deal for Leech. Hits that deal less than 40 per 1,000 total damage are unaffected. But if a hit would deal more than 40,000 total damage, it is treated as dealing only 40,000 damage for purposes of Leech calculation. The value of each damage type in the hit are scaled down evenly to reach this limit. This means that extremely high damage hits stop improving leech past a certain point. But increasing your leech percentage will always increase the amount of resource you are gaining. Bruh. That is crazy. That is crazy. So you no more. So technically, you can no longer instant leech at all. So Blood Mage is cooked. Blood Mage is cooked. Blood Mage is cooked. I mean, it was bad right now because you can get one shot it so easily. So now they nerfed the hell out of Blood Mage. They nerfed the hell out of Blood Mage. So now, instead of making life and mana, life and shield builds for Blood Mage, you're going to have to do life. They even try to stay alive. Even if you did that, you're only going to be able to recuperate 40,000 damage total until the timer runs out. That is fucking wild, dude. You just nerfed the whole entire ascendancy. That is crazy. Alright, what it says right here about minions. Minions, due to resources changes such as weapon swapping, younger, newer minions are now prioritized for removal over older minions to avoid wasting minion cooldown abilities unnecessary. Okay. Minions affected from Last Grasp support and Tekkar's Revenge lineage support. Totems affected by unnamed Heartwood Oracle notable passive skill can no longer die during the effect. Okay, that's pretty good. I think we're going to have to go minion. I'm going to go minion. I think that's what's going to be happening here. That is what's going to be happening here. Added 8 new idols. Okay. Added a new minion splash and minion splash 2 string support gems. Okay. So basically when they hit, they get that. The Vitality saw a notable passive skill grants 20% spell damage. Leech as life on previously 10%. Okay. So the Vitality Siphon notable passive skill down grants 20% of spell damage leech as life. Previously 10%. Okay. They buffed that up. Are you trying to say that you didn't nerf it to the ground just by increasing the spell damage? But after 40k, that's all you're getting on leeching. I don't know. We'll make 2 builds. We'll try to do cast and crit as well. Doubt it's gonna work. Let's see here. This is all the passive tree changes. Alright. Fast metabolism grants 40% increased damage while leeching life. Previously, life leech were not removed from reserve life filled. Okay, I guess that's a plus. Increased amount of life leech, previously 20%. So they nerf Fortified Blood notable down 5%. Well, yeah, because you have a limit now for leech damage. This is insane. Okay. Skill changes. Alright, this is another one I'm interested in. What else do we got here? Okay, all command skills had a 50% movement spell speed penalty during skill use. Previously 70%. That's good. Let's look at Comet. Now deals 212 damage to 318 damage at skill gem level 11. Previously was 223 to 335. Okay, that's not a bad nerf. Scaling up to 787 to 1181 damage at gem level 20. Previously, they dropped it 100. Fire Fused Comet now deals 212 to 318 fire and cold damage at gem level 11. Previously was 279 to 418. Damn. Scaling to 787 to 1181. Previously was 10,000. I mean 1,000. Now 1,500. That's insane, dude. They nerfed the shit out of the infusion on that. They nerfed it. Oh, why, dude? It's been the same for the past the whole entire time this game's been out, ever since Combat was released, and now they want to nerf it. All right, what is another one that people always use? Poison burst arrow duration now is 3 seconds. It was 3 to 5 seconds. Okay. Oh shit, they nerfed that too. Now the magnitude's only 10%. Was 20%. That's crazy, dude. Rolling slam. Plus 1 second total attack time was 0.5. The first slam deals 75 to 272% damage of attack damage given levels 1 through 20. Previously was 90 to 363. The second slam deals 150 to 543. Previously was 180 to 735%. That's insane. That's insane that they nerfed that. They nerfed that one to the freaking ground. Tempest Bell now can be accessorily boosted. The strike scale maximum number of bells has been increased from 3 to 1, greatly improving the combo potential. And the Shockwave now deals 45 to 119% damage gem. Okay, so they buffed that up a little bit. That's not too bad. They now fires 5 parcel previously. Okay, for toxic growth now fires 5 pustules. Previously 4. Limit of 5 puzzle. Previously 12. Quantity now grants fires plus 5%. Dude, they nerfed toxic growth through the ground. That is insane. Alright, support skills. All same concept skills instead of okay, freezing. Salvo. Alright, slam. Let's look at Diala's Desire. Diala's Desire is 5% quality now instead of 10. It's been the same for the past 2 freaking leagues, and now you decide to change it? Okay, Daedra's undoing. This is what I use on my elemental weakness. No longer causes cursed ground created by support skills to become hazardous. Now causes cursed ground created by support skills to spawn witch toads on an interval which seek out enemies and explode, dealing chaos damage. That is stupid. What? Alright, Infernal Legion. We use this sometimes on our minion builds. Now grants minion support skills to take to 10% of their maximum life per damage. Previously was 20, so okay, so you can't suicide bomb them anymore. That's great. Thank you, GGG. That is awesome. Can no longer get overextended. Now properly describes. Okay. No longer causes a support skill to inflict corrupted blood, but instead triggers a skill which inflicts corrupted blood. Skill by level of the gem it is socking into no longer has 2% maximum life per corrupted blood inflicted by the instead now it has 10%. Oh shit, Rage 1, 2, and 3 can now support minions. Okay. Alright. Okay, Untread's Omen now grants +2. Said it was 3. Oh my god, they did the Aldries, dude. The Untreads are nerfed. What? Unique item changes. Xerxes Acuity Gloves. Okay, they now grant 200% armor, 150 maximum life, leech 10% of physical damage as life, 10% of physical damage dealt for hits causes blood loss, and Vow Power. They also grant the Herald of Royal Queen skill. Vow Culture and Orbs outcomes on the Equity have also changed. The hell? These are the crit gloves, guys, that you use on Castle and Crit to give you up to 50%. They nerfed it to the ground and got rid of the critical hit chance on it completely. Those gloves have been the same since they ever came out several leagues ago. That's insane. All right, we'll see here. Okay, that's what I typically use. You change runes around. Monsters have leech resistance now. Starts at a later level. The values are lower at every level. All monster rarities now have the same amount of leech resistance. So not only did you buff up the monster's leech, but also you nerf leeching. That's crazy. That is insane. That is insane. Okay, we only went over a couple things. There's a lot here to intake. The new stuff is pretty nice. I ain't gonna lie. But they went back to their old ways, man. I mean, the same ways. They're nerfing all the uniques that everybody used to force you to use the other uniques that they come out with, which is insane to me. In my opinion. Okay, in my opinion. All right, they come out with these. They come out with these uniques, and you only use like 1.6% of the uniques that are in the game. So they come out with these worthless uniques, spits them out there as garbage. They throw this garbage at you, right? The sludge at you. All right, but you know that you're going to turn around and going to end up, using some of these, right? They know that you're only going to use like 5. So the average uniques that are used in each league is about 1.6% of all the uniques. So that's telling you something. So they take all the other uniques that everybody uses and they nerf them to the ground, as we just read, because they do it every single fucking league. And they want you to use the uniques that they come out, the garbage, the trash can crap. All right. And I'm just curious what it's going to be. Obviously, my favorite ascendancy is getting nerfed to the ground. The leeching is a big part of the Blood Mage. We all know this. It's part of the ascendancy. So now you can only leech a single target. So like life, mana, shield. So now you can only leech a single thing, which is crazy. And it's on a timer, which is insane to me. And you can only leech a certain amount of percentage damage, up to 40k. That's also insane. So you nerfed the whole entire ascendancy to the ground. Then you nerfed the helmet that everybody was using. That was pretty sweet. Everybody liked it. I loved it. The +4 to all spell skills. Now you nerfed that to where it's only curses. That's stupid. Dangerous Undoing. I already knew that was coming. I already figured that was coming because using that on elemental weakness was uber strong. I figured that would be coming, but they changed it to something stupid. Now it's just launches frogs. That's just dumb. In my opinion. So I guess all in all, and also waystones now for breaches and all that, abyssals and all that. You can only get those tablets for those locations, I guess, inside those areas. So I wonder what were they thinking, because now the only way to get those tablets for abyssals, Val Temple, Breach, and all that, Delirium. Now you can only get them in those areas now that you unlock. So I guess the only thing that the main mapping is, the original mapping, is just try to speed run to these locations, right? I guess that's it. I don't know. I don't know why they did that. Okay, I'll get it. I get it if you're just okay. If you're going through the normal mapping stuff, you're not in those regions that you can get these tablets to drop, but you can't use them. You know, they're normal mapping areas, but you'll have them so that way you can use them in the regions. I would get that, but what the hell, man? What are we doing? There's a lot of bad takes on this stuff that I'm getting from it. There's a lot of good things too. You know, segregating each section. I think that's pretty neat. But I still think the whole tablet thing is whack. And I do like that we have a search engine. Okay, the search engine now on the maps. That's nice. I've been wanting that for I don't know how long now to be able to search individual. Whatever map I want to run, I can search that. That's pretty dope. The Blood Mage the only one that I really love playing every league. Okay, they nerfed it once, now they nerfing it again. This is the second time they nerfed that they nerfed. That's the second time they have since I've been playing. I mean, during the whole game that came out. That's the second time they nerfed Blood Mage. Well, basically the Witch in general. That's insane to me. And they also nerfed Comet now. Now it doesn't do as much damage. That's also insane to me. I mean, the Comet's been the same ever since it came out. That's crazy. And now all of a sudden, since people are using it more often, it gets nerfed. Okay, the Comet wasn't the problem. The Leech instantly wasn't the issue for Blood Mage. Blood Mage is so weak and pitiful. All right, as it was before 0.5, and now it's going to be increasingly weak as well. So, I mean, I don't know how this is going to work. Maybe we can do Recoup of Life instead of Leech. Maybe that might be a thing. We're just going to have to test it out this next league because I love my cast on crit and stuff. But the whole leeching thing and instant leeching and the cast on critical freaking mold emits that everybody uses as well for the cast on crit builds. Is nerfed to the ground. It doesn't even do anything that it did previously. That they did a whole rework on that unique, which is crazy to me. So nobody's going to use that. I can tell you that right now. Nobody's going to use those modal bits anymore. Yeah, man. I it is crazy. There's a lot of bad takes, a lot of good takes too. I like that we got new maps now, new bosses, pinnacle bosses now. But yeah, when it comes to gearing, I'm really harsh on that because my understanding, seeing a lot of these, every time when they come out with a new league, seeing them talk and everything, talking about that they want people to use the uniques and stuff, and want people, to grind the game to get expensive. Be able to get expensive gear, right? So be able to max tier your gear out, but have to pay a heavy amount of currency for it. I mean, you ain't gonna be able to do that if you're gonna keep nerfing all the good uniques every single league. So they basically, in my opinion, just stabbing ourselves in the foot when they do this, because every good unique they come out with, they nerf it the next league, then they force their players to play the new uniques that they have coming out, which I think is a bad take, because not everybody wants to be forced to be doing stuff. If they like a build, they're going to play it, right? Then they're going to test out the other builds. That's just my take on it, but this is the first time me ever playing PoE. I got 2,100 hours on it, but it's definitely one of my pet peeves in this. And the crafting in this is so RNG. That's the thing I hate the most. Now, hopefully with this breach tree coming in, where you can pick and choose or whatever, but you have to grind the breach splinters, which I'm okay with that. But and they're also making it to where div are more common now. So I wonder what the new currency is going to be, since they're going to make div more common. Because I know that was the biggest thing in the Val Temple, is that because everybody was running it because it was dropping div a lot, and that's why the inflation for 0.4 for items went up because of the vines that were dropping. But so I guess their caveat to that, it looks like it. The caveat to that, to not make people even more angry about the Val Temple, they're going to make divs drop more commonly now. They've been trying to be doing that this whole entire time PoE 2 came out. Okay, they even did it last league. Okay, they even did it previously to this league before they even launched this league, saying that, okay, currencies are going to drop more often. And it did. So now, since they nerfed the crap out of the Vow Temple thing, you should let people snake. Okay, you should let them snake. They're spending all that time to play your game mechanic, and you're just going to turn around and just screw them over. At the end of it, when they close the temple, they cannot stake it. They cannot stop it from deleting. They can't stop it from changing. Okay, what's the whole point of playing that? Playing your Vow Temple then. That game mechanic. There's no reason now. Especially for any of the uniques, as I just showed you guys, the uniques that the Vow Temple drop, you know, the really expensive ones are all nerfed now. You cut them in half. You nerf them to the ground. So what is the point of doing the Vow Temple besides getting the passive, besides getting the credits for your Atlas? Okay, well, that'd be the only reason why I'll be playing the Vow Temple, would be get my credits for it, so that way I can put it on my Atlas tree. And that's it. I would probably not play Vow Temple at all this next league. I was really disappointed in that. And also with the Vow Temple as well, each room that you lay down, okay, the effectiveness of that room only affects that room type, which is crazy to me. Well, I think it only affects that room. It doesn't affect the whole map, the whole Vow Temple, which is also stupid. In my opinion, I get it because you don't want people to, you know, get rich so fast, but I mean, you want people to grind this game. It took me over 60 hours, and I'm a casual player to get my temple to max tier. It would have been fine if they would have left that in there. Let the temple as it is right now, in my opinion, left the temple as it is right now, but will not be able to do the whole Spy Master, the tech. Just keep it to where you can't do the tech. I think everybody would be pleased with that. That's it. That's all you had to do. But no, you freaking nerfed it to the ground. So nobody's going to play that game mechanic. I'm hoping that these bosses will drop better uniques and stuff like that, better currency. These new bosses are coming out at the end of these quests. Okay, the main boss at the end of them, like the end of the Breach and into the Delirium, all that. I hope the value of the time that you spent to put it in there to grind it is better. Because I'm telling you right now, the only thing that people are really going to run is probably the main Pinnacle guy now, since he's new, and the Breach to do the Breach tree for the crafting stuff. I'm telling you right now, I'm calling it. That's the only thing people are going to run. Because Abyssals, it looked like they didn't change much of the Abyssals either. They were nerfed to the ground when I started this league, 0.4. Looks like now Vow Temple, the new mechanic from the previous league, is now getting nerfed to the ground. So it boggles me. It boggles my mind. Because they keep saying that they want people to play these game mechanics every league, but they nerf them. They nerf the game mechanics that they added from the previous league into the new league. They nerf them. So what was great about it previously is no longer great anymore. But you want people to play the league, so now you're forcing them to do quests. Okay, I don't get that logic. I don't get the logic. I really don't. But like I said, I'm new to PoE. I got 2,100 hours into PoE 2, only 37 hours in PoE 1. Maybe this is a normal thing that they do. And they nerf all the uniques. All the previous uniques that were good, they nerf them. I don't know why they just don't keep them in. I get it that you change game mechanics a little bit. Okay, then change the uniques that are affected by that a little bit. But just don't just sit there and just nerf them to the ground. So now you went from, possibly having, about half your need, like right now, average is 1.6% uniques being used in the game, right? Every time when a new league comes out, because you nerf all the others, all the other good ones. So if you would have kept all the other good ones the way they were, yeah, I mean, you're probably looking at a percentage, probably around 10 to 15% of the uniques used instead of 1. Okay, that's just my thought. And it's a PvE game. It's not like we're getting an advantage over going against other players. Okay, I mean, we're playing an ARRPG, right? So we're just battling NPCs the whole time. But I get it. I don't get it, but I'll accept it because I'll continue to play. I like a challenge. anyways, every league's a challenge regardless what they do. They make it even more difficult every league, obviously, but yeah, that's just my opinion on it. Take it as you will. Put what you think down in the comments below. What do you think about the new league changes, the nerfs, you know, what they added, the things they do? That's just my concerns. I don't think the rewards are going to be worth it. Doing the quest sides, besides that, they're being able to get your Atlas nodes. Other than that, I can tell you right now, I'm predicting nobody's going to be doing the Val Temple. Probably just to be doing to get their Atlas nodes, and everybody's going to be doing Breach. And probably the Pinnacle boss, because he's new. And I think that's about it. Really, maybe try out the new content, because now you're forcing people to do questing stuff to get your to get all the Atlas nodes, which I get it. I like that idea. I like it, but you got to make the rewards worth it. You know, in my opinion, you got to make it worth it for it to be really good. That's just me. Notice that you guys can go read this. Like I said, it'll be down at the bottom of the description, okay, of this the patch notes. So make sure you guys go check this out, look at it, make your own assumption. All right. My favorite Ascendancy class got nerfed to the ground. That's a shame, because it's been the same this whole entire time that it came out. Got nerfed a couple times. Got some crit did, and now Leeching's getting nerfed, which is the main source of the Blood Mage. So we'll see. We'll see what brings on in 0.5. Okay, I might still try to attempt to do a cast on crit build Blood Mage. I don't have high hopes that it's working. I'm going to start off with the minion build myself, because the minions definitely got a buff. It was definitely needed. They definitely needed to do a buff with the minions. The minions were lacking so bad. I'm glad and happy, and I'm willing to see what we can get out of our minions. So make sure you guys stay tuned, subscribe, hit the like on this video, post a comment, all right, share it, whatever you may do. So with that being said, guys, I'll catch you all later. #PeanutGame, baby, all day, every day. Deuces.